All right, guys, welcome to another awesome episode of The Dark Side of Wolf. Now, today's episode, we're going to see a hip hop fans first time listening to Rachmaninov's Prelude in C sharp minor. And this piece is going to be performed by Marta Deyanova. Sounds pretty awesome so far. And this piece was recommended to us by means of Ante BK. We're going to leave this gentleman's or this lady's link below this video so you can subscribe to their channel and support them. And also the video that we're going to watch for this piece is delivered by Lucia Luna. We're going to leave their YouTube channel below so you can also subscribe to their channel and support them. Now, we do ask if you know of any modern composers or musicians, by all means, leave some information in the comment box below or share our videos with them. We're trying to give back to the community because these type of channels, first-time reaction channels, can actually blow up. So if possible, we would like to shine a spotlight on modern composers or musicians. Why not show some love back to the community? As I said before, I'm a hip-hop guy. I don't really know much about this community, so I'm pretty much learning as I go along. So if you have even some type of projects in a classical niche that you're conducting, if you'd like to have an interview, we're going to create a playlist for interviews of modern composers as well as musicians, as well as we're going to do first-time reactions to modern music. We're going to give back to the community if possible. So this is an interactive channel. Leave your comments in the comment box below. Whatever piece you would recommend that we do next, by all means, leave that information in the comment box below. Participate. Recommend your favorite piece so that we can have more videos to produce for you guys. Now let's get to it. A hip-hop fan's first time listening to Rachmaninov's Prelude in C sharp minor, performed by Marta Deyanova. It sounds really ominous. A really interesting thing about classical music is that you listen to modern music and it only fills your mind with visions of what we know of today. But this world, I guess you can say when this piece was written, we don't know anything about that time. Well, through historically we do, but personally we don't. We don't know anything about the mindset. But I guess you can say the keys that's used in the classical music, it's almost like a time capsule. It helps you appreciate the mindset. Takes you to a completely different time. So I do appreciate this one. A time that we're not familiar with. A time capsule. That dominates the entire track. everything comes back to that. So obviously, that's the star of the track. So regardless of whatever emotions you can think of as a result of the other parts, it all comes back to that. I don't know whether or not it sounds like the person is frustrated because it's just hard keys, and it's almost like it's hard to really describe it, but it's almost like, I guess you could say that when you speak, you have a normal conversation, you're verbose, you're using a lot of words, speaking to articulate your thoughts. But when you're upset, your vocabulary is probably really sharp and less verbose or less eloquent. And that's what it sounds like. The way he's hitting these keys, the the keys that set the tone of the entire piece, it sounds like it's just sharp emotion. That's what it makes me think of. If you get what I'm saying. Now we were at one end of the spectrum. Now we're in a completely different place. Hmm. Now this was kind of interesting, a bit scary. It kind of reminded me of, it's an old school movie called Hellraiser, and some of the piano sections kind of reminds me of one of the main, I guess you can say, musical scores they had in that movie. There's a possibility that musical score was probably influenced by this piece, but it was a bit dark, and it's kind of short. Obviously, it's only 4 minutes and 43 seconds. I wanted more. I wanted to take me to more places to explain itself, and just, I think this felt as though I could have went deeper in depth with this piece, but I think it sounded a bit dark. The end of it took you to another completely different section. As I said before, the beginning took you here, and it ended in a completely different place. It seemed like the end of it was of another nature than the middle as well as the beginning. I would say this piece was pretty much a bit ominous, kind of dark. Even the picture, maybe this contributes towards it, but it was kind of dark. It makes me think of what type of mindset Rachmaninoff may have been in when he created this piece. Now, when it comes to me, like as an artist, I make hip hop beats too. And for some reason, a lot of my hip hop beats, not all of them, but it seems like I tend to lean towards the darker hip hop beats. I guess that's because being raised watching horror movies. Maybe that lends to it. And for some reason, I used to, Halloween used to be one of my favorite holidays. Not anymore, but I tend to lean towards the darker side unwittingly. But at the same time, I think that would be it's almost like you meet a person and just because they look mean, you just leave it as that. There's a lot more to that person. Most times you find there's more to people than just the superficial. And sometimes a certain piece of music may seem dark, but in most cases you find there's a lot more to it. What does it tell you about the artist? Maybe it's a possibility he had a lot of dark days during the course of his life, or maybe he made this piece during a time when he was in a dark period of his life. I don't know. As they say, when you use darker colors, or when an artist uses darker colors when he's painting, that normally tells the mind state or the mood that the person may have been in when they created, the art that they created. So this was most definitely interesting. I wouldn't mind listening to this a couple more times, to be honest with you, just to get a better feel for it. But just off the top of the head, that's what it makes me think of. It's kind of dark, but at the same time, I don't want to comment on it superficially. There's always more than the surface level. And that's the way I like to look at this piece right here. It's a lot more to it. But I wish it could have been a little bit longer. And I wish it could have came back. Like at the end, how it drops off. It just like I expected more, but I appreciate this piece. So by all means, like, subscribe, share this content with somebody you may know. As I said before, name your favorite piece that you would like me to do in the next video. And also if you're a classical artist or if you're a classical musician or composer, get in contact with me. I'm trying to create a playlist on this channel to maybe give 30-minute interviews to modern artists, composers, or maybe you have some type of project going in a classical niche. And also I want to create another playlist for modern artists so I can do a first time reaction to their music, try to shine some light into the community for other classical people out there, I guess you can say. I don't want to just be a tourist. So I'll see you guys in the next video.